If you're still wondering what powerful, elite, better than people really think of you, I'm going to show you in this video that the real Washington establishment, I believe, really does view you and your concerns and your needs and your hopes for your family and the country that you actually live in as nothing more than an inconvenience.
Can we talk about the upcoming presidential election?
Oh, no.
Yes, we have to.
Stick with the Easter
We have to. No more Easter Bunny talk, yeah. I mean, it's Biden versus Trump. We know that.
It is. It is.
What do you say to voters who are upset that those are the two choices?
Get over yourself. Those are the two choices.
Yeah, love that.
Right? And,
good.
you know, it's kind of like one is old and effective and compassionate, has a heart, and really cares about people. And one is old and has been charged with 91 felonies.
Yeah, okay.
I mean...
Okay, interesting.
I don't understand why this is even a hard choice, really. I don't understand it.
Yeah.
But we have to go through the election, and hopefully people will realize what's at stake, because it's an existential question. What kind of country we're going to have, what kind of democracy we're going to have. And people who blow that off are not paying attention, because it's not like Trump, his enablers, his empowerers, his allies are not telling us what they want to do. I mean, they're pretty clear about what kind of country they want.
Yeah.
So
Get out there and vote.
Get out there and vote.
This is essentially the Democrat playbook in 2024, man. Demagogue, demean, degrade. And if you don't say as we do, then you don't love America, is essentially what they believe. And I guess actually that's really nothing new. That's not 2024. We've seen it before. We've seen irredeemable. We've seen deplorable. My personal favorite, cult members, which is, of course, made even richer, coming from the people that deny and ignore pure objective reality, like biological reality. But anyway, it amazes me more every single day. And speaking of amazing, I got to wonder, man, do the ladies on The View, do they actually believe the insanity that they push? Because, I mean, it's kind of interesting to watch, right? You would think that they would, I don't know, bring it a little bit more back down to earth, just a tiny, tiny bit, because here's the thing, and I think they probably realize this. Anyone who is actually watching The View is either not voting or already all in on Joe Biden, or most likely currently under some form of incarceration. But so you got to wonder, why so insane? Why do they push such impressive tone deafness?
And I was looking back to remember, and I know we all vividly do, every picture in a mask, from work to school to not being able to see family. My parents don't live nearby. I can't fly. I mean, you couldn't go on trips, and not trips like for fun. I just mean literally to get to people you love. It was isolating, depressing. So I laughed that someone didn't catch that part when they said, we're going to go out and ask people, how were you 4 years ago? That is a time my brain is trying to completely block out.
Like, women have better reproductive health rights?
Yes,
Yeah.
there
4
is.
years ago?
Listen, as Black people, we were not in this insanity of trying to figure out why our history is no longer welcome in the educational system. Women were realizing something was happening. If you were coming from another country, if you were coming to this country to find a better life, you were not welcome. Listen, it wasn't a good time for lots of people.
Yeah.
And all you have to do to ask, are we better off than we were? Ask the thousands of people who are no longer here. That's how you know if we're better off. Ask their families, are they better off without their loved ones? What a stupid question. It's a stupid question and disrespectful to the American people, in my opinion, my humble opinion.
How dare you ask people if they were better off, is essentially what she's saying. I mean, she's saying, so what they can't afford rent? And so what that the ones who can afford rent are going to be stuck renting forever because mortgages have basically doubled. I'm not laughing at that. It's not funny. But she's basically, so what if people can't afford basic necessities? What a stupid, disrespectful question, Whoopi Goldberg says. What she's actually trying to say is, don't even think about what your life used to be. Try not to remember, just remember, the way things are now, this is your new normal. And if you ever want to have a democracy, you can never go back. Apparently, the cost of democracy follows the exact same trend as the cost of goods. You just pay for it and be happy and do as you're told.
If you are coming from another country, if you were coming to this country to find a better life, you were not welcome. Listen, it wasn't a good time for lots of people.
I mean, that's one way to say that Donald Trump was stronger on the border. She says, if you were coming 4 years ago, well, just don't come. She says, Donald Trump was so bad for immigrants that they stopped paying the cartels to allow them to come. And the flip side of that, of course, is Joe Biden is so good for the immigrants that cartels are making billions and people are dying in the desert at pretty much record levels. And we've been so gracious that we've welcomed, depending on who you ask, up to 12 million people. And I beg you, man, just ask the poor citizens of New York and Chicago and a dozen other places just how great we are for immigrants now. Because here's the thing. I'm not sure Whoopi's pitch that Joe is good for illegals is going to land quite how she means it, but I will give her credit for actually saying something that's rooted in truth, but she doesn't quite see it like you and I do, I'm guessing. But what she's really saying, I think, to quote Hillary, is get over yourself. It's not a hard choice. And I agree with them both. It is absolutely not a hard choice. And I think more and more people are starting to agree that it is not a hard choice. But that's just my take, guys. Let me know yours in the comments. If you haven't already, be a part of our growth. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Most importantly, share the channel. I'll see you in the next one.